Hello guys, how are you doing today? I'm Star Wars Meg. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're talking about how Ahsoka will return in The Mandalorian Season 2. There's some really epic things in this video, which I'll go into, and we'll also talk about a little thing that a lot of people missed in the trailer. It's going to be a good one, so stay tuned. Before I get into the video guys, please may I ask you to hit like on this video, to subscribe to my channel if you're new, and also please consider becoming a patron of mine on Patreon. For just $2 a month, you get exclusive access to content that's not found here on YouTube. And for $10 a month, which is my platinum tier, you get Star Wars Explained videos, news videos, and a lot more. So back to the video. So cast your minds back to the end of the Clone Wars, the end of Season 7, and as soon as that finished, a lot of fans started speculating about Ahsoka Tano. In my opinion, Lucasfilm did this deliberately because they knew they wanted to include her in The Mandalorian and in more live-action Star Wars. So just hours after Ahsoka Tano returned to the small screen in the final season of the Clone Wars, Variety confirmed one of the biggest Star Wars rumors circulating the internet, that Rosario Dawson would play Ahsoka. At this stage, now that we're literally a month away from Season 2, this is pretty much all but confirmed. Anakin's apprentice, Ahsoka, who left the Jedi Order just in time to escape the Jedi Purge of Order 66, was a much discussed addition to the story of the prequels. Introduced in 2008 as the breakout star of the animated movie Star Wars The Clone Wars, fans watched her grow up in the Clone Wars animated series and later watched her come face to face with her former master in Star Wars Rebels. So the first and inevitable question about Ahsoka with regards to The Mandalorian Season 2 is, where has she been since the last time we saw her, which was at the end of Rebels? So Ahsoka's story stretches through most of the Star Wars saga. She debuted in the prequel era as a young Jedi Padawan and re-emerged as a friend to the Rebel Alliance in the years before Star Wars: A New Hope. In Rebels Season 2, she confronted her old mentor and discovered Darth Vader's true identity was Anakin Skywalker. In the Clone Wars and the novel Ahsoka, she tries to find her place as an ex-Jedi at a time when most Force users were being hunted down. We don't get to see her adventures in the years between the fall of the Republic and the rise of the Rebellion, but by her debut in Rebels, she's become a confident and powerful Jedi Master in every way except in title. At the end of Rebels, after the Battle of Endor, Ahsoka sets out on a new journey to look for Jedi apprentice Ezra Bridger, who jumped to hyperspace to parts unknown before A New Hope. It's unclear where Ahsoka was during the Galactic Civil War, but perhaps she'd been looking for Ezra even before joining Sabine Wren's journey to search for him. So The Mandalorian, which takes place obviously 5 years after Return of the Jedi, could show Ahsoka at the end of her quest to find Ezra, or maybe she's still out there searching. Whatever the case, it's very likely that she'll take an interest in the child, and could even help Djarin, aka Mando, find the child's homeworld. So before I get into her link with Baby Yoda, I want to first answer the question of how old she is by the time of The Mandalorian. So The Mandalorian will give us the oldest version of Ahsoka that we've ever seen on screen. Wikipedia claims that she was born in 36 BBY, making her about 45 by the time of The Mandalorian. So it's also worth noting that Rosario Dawson is 41, so we're not going to get the young, youthful Ahsoka that we once got. We'll get a much more mature Ahsoka Tano. Now we need to talk about her connection to the Rebellion and her connection to Mandalore. Ahsoka was a major operative for the Rebellion in its infancy. As a matter of fact, Ahsoka was the first Fulcrum, which is the spy codename that Cassian Andor would later use in Rogue One. This means that she could have a connection to at least one of the ex-Rebel characters on The Mandalorian. The character most closely connected to the rebellion on Mandalorian is Cara Dune, who left her years of service as a rebel shock trooper behind after she became disillusioned with the New Republic, the government formed out of the rebellion after the Emperor's defeat. The Star Wars saga has long been a story of connections and coincidences, so it wouldn't be surprising if Cara and Ahsoka knew each other from their days fighting the Empire. Ahsoka also has a major connection to the Mandalorians themselves. At the Siege of Mandalore, she helped to liberate the planet from Maul, and that opened up a power vacuum the Republic filled. But since the Republic became the Empire almost immediately after that, Mandalore was promptly subjugated by a different tyrant. Ahsoka's victory on Mandalore inadvertently handed Palpatine the planet, and the Empire committed a great purge against the Mandalorians. The Jedi's participation in the Siege of Mandalore that led to the deaths of so many could put Mando at odds with Ahsoka. They might not see eye to eye, and in the trailer for Season 2 we obviously got Mando claiming that Jedi were, a group of sorcerers, a race of sorcerers. Fascinatingly enough, Mando doesn't seem to know anything about the Jedi, and he really doesn't trust them, especially with his possessiveness over Baby Yoda. No Jedi saved his family during the Clone Wars, and the Mandalorian armorer refers to the Jedi as ancient enemies of the Mandalorians. But even though Djarin cares deeply for the child, he's still likely to think of an adult Jedi as inconvenient at best and actively hostile by default at worst. So now let's talk about the juiciest part of this video, which is why Ahsoka Tano is important to The Mandalorian Season 2 and how she will specifically return. And this links to Baby Yoda. Now, I had a theory that Ahsoka was the one to train Baby Yoda, because I believe Baby Yoda is called the child not by accident. I think they are referring to the ancient prophecy of the Chosen One, which Anakin was, and in every cyclic generation there is a new Chosen One. In my opinion, this generation's Chosen One would be the child, even though that doesn't really make much sense because Anakin was alive when Baby Yoda was alive. So who knows how that will play out, but that was one very fascinating theory. Here's another one. So it could turn out that Ahsoka would be more than willing to help Mando find Baby Yoda's species because she herself was very close friends with Yoda. And I think this is why they chose the Yoda species for the child. I think they had seen that they wanted to tie it in with Skywalker Saga or the Clone Wars in some way later on down the line, and that moment has come. But it's not necessarily a fact that Ahsoka would want to take the baby under her wing. She's also disillusioned with the Jedi. She didn't like calling herself a Jedi. But she's fond of the individuals she knew in the Jedi Order and was more than willing to help Ezra in Rebels. It's possible she could want to raise Baby Yoda, or the child, as part of a new generation of Force users, unfettered by the traditions of the Old Republic, kind of doing what Luke did in The Last Jedi, just boycotting the whole ideas of what a Jedi should be. Now remember that in Season 1 it was speculated that Baby Yoda was a strand cast, a clone modified slightly from the original. In the sequel trilogy we know that the Emperor used strand cast to make new bodies for himself after his death at the Battle of Endor. Now I have an entire video about my theories behind Palpatine and Baby Yoda, and I've spoken about it multiple times over the last few weeks. So how does this tie into Ahsoka? Well, could Ahsoka know something about the strand casts and the Emperor's plans? Is she going to warn Mando? Does she know a lot more about Baby Yoda than even we do as an audience, or even Mando does? So introducing a powerful Force user would change the dynamic of Star Wars and change a lot in terms of tone for The Mandalorian, because it's mostly focused on the common folk in the galaxy, but her appearance would open up a lot more questions that come from the franchise, increasingly crowded with cameos and heroes. So has Ahsoka ever encountered Luke Skywalker personally? We might get this answer as well. The Clone Wars guru Dave Filoni is a pro at including Ahsoka in Star Wars stories without breaking the timeline. In Rebels, he even used actual time travel to snatch Ahsoka from imminent death. So in my mind, regardless of how she appears, I think it's going to be really fascinating. It's going to answer a lot of questions we had in the Skywalker saga on the whole. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think Ahsoka is going to be important in The Mandalorian Season 2? How will she appear? A lot of people thought that it was her in the trailer, and I did a whole video how I think it's Sabine Wren, and that would make a lot of sense since Sasha Banks' character is Sabine. But as you know, we didn't actually get any Ahsoka. The closest we got to Ahsoka Tano was this planet, and a lot of people on the Mandalorian subreddit page were speculating that this was where Ahsoka ended up at the end of the Clone Wars, but that wouldn't make much sense because that was a moon, and this planet in the trailer clearly has its own very Earth-like looking moon, so I don't think it's going to be that at all. I think it would make a lot of sense to put Ahsoka in Season 2, especially with what we got in the trailer and all the speculation that's been going around about what Season 2 is about. We almost can't not have her. She's almost a pivotal, essential point to include in Season 2 of The Mandalorian. That's what I think, so please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Hit like on this video if you enjoyed it, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Check out my Patreon, it's in the description box down below. And I'm Star Wars Meg. I wish you a fantastic rest of the day, no matter where you are in the galaxy. Have a good one.